If you just give me another chance
and $180 million,
I can make this.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Feel, don't think.
Fear is my ally.
The Force will be with you.
We are encouraged to love.
Be mindful of your thoughts.
I will not betray the Republic.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder!
I'm not afraid.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Okay, so yesterday's Sunday Times did a very long, convoluted, very complicated expose on the Chapek Iger years between 2020 and 2 years ago, November when Chapek was ceremoniously bounced out of Disney. And it's a very, when you read it, it's so complicated, you'll forget half of it before you get halfway through it. Now I'll explain why. Bob Chapek was brought in. He was the guy that did the parks. And, you know, I think everybody was happy to see him. He seemed like he was a smart guy. He made, I think, some right decisions about getting rid of DEI and not getting Disney involved with politics. And he did not want Disney to sign a letter about it, and he got bullied into doing it. And then, of course, DEI hires like LaToya Raveneau, etc., start screaming on video. They basically had a hostage video of Chapek. Chapek in the video comes across as weak, but he also doesn't really have any allies, and he is obviously not the right guy for the job. However, when you find out that Bob Iger never left, really, there's a problem, because Chapek basically had to talk to the board and then Iger before making a decision. And they treated him like Captain Queeg. Yeah, if you've ever seen the Caine Mutiny, you'll know what I mean. And I think that Chapek is probably a lot more competent than they let on. I don't think he was the right guy for the job. But Christine McCarthy, she was the one that threw him under the bus. We found out Susan Arnold was miffed that, because she's a dyke, that Chapek wouldn't sign the letter. And they both went to Bob Iger and in November and said, will you please come back? They skirt the issue of missing funds and perhaps the FTX issue. Basically framing Chapek as being indecisive, but they wouldn't let him make a decision. They bullied him into a mea culpa over DEI bullshit and the Florida parental rights law. They bullied him into accepting the Gina Carano thing, which isn't mentioned. In fact, Lucasfilm is only mentioned in passing. Okay. And if you look at what Iger was doing, he was basically also telling Chapek what to do and what to not do. Basically, they wanted a step and fetch it CEO, and that's all. And Iger is no more competent in this instance than Bob Chapek. And actually, I want to say something. Bob Chapek was shot in the foot the moment he said yes to the job. And at the end, he was set up for a very good reason. It was probably FTX, but I also think he'd been talking to the wrong people. And those people are coming up. because I can't wait to hear their names.
How embarrassing for you. I left you a message not to come. I'm passing on the Godfather.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
In keeping with the trusty adage, starve a cold, disgust a fever.
So, in the description of this video, I'm gonna leave a link to Cameron Pasha's Patreon and the New York Times expose because it's fascinating. Bob Chapek is basically turned into some sort of clown, an incompetent boob, but they also not getting help from them, and they would go and stab him in the back and then cry to Daddy Iger. Okay, it literally really is the Kane Mutiny, and there was no Jose Ferrer walking in just absolutely devastating them in a final pissed off soliloquy. There was nobody like that for Chapek. Now, who is he talking to that he was told he wasn't allowed to talk to? Nelson Peltz. He and Nelson Peltz have been talking for a while. He was told, and I'm going to say it was Christine McCarthy who told him, we don't want you talking to him anymore. And why? Because Peltz, they don't want him to see the books, probably. They don't want him to know the inner workings of the Walt Disney Company. Why? FTX? Maybe something else is going on? Okay, so then we get this. The day before this expose comes out, Peltz resigns as the chairman of the board of Wendy's. Okay, now what is really going on? Might there be movement to maybe have a hostile takeover? There's no reason for Peltz to leave Wendy's. In the story here, gives no reason. Okay? It gives absolutely no reason at all why Peltz left. It just said he resigned, blah, 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 walked away. So what's really going on? And why is Iger suddenly the victim of a sideswipe, a shot across the bow, sniper fire from somebody? We are all trying to figure this out. Who is behind this? And I'm going to say right now, the antipathy that's been going on between Iger and Peltz and, dare I say, Elon Musk, that maybe they are the ones that were behind this, and maybe basically being honest about this is what happened. This is the stuff we speculated on for a very, very, very long time. And the only thing they don't touch on is they don't touch on the real reasons. Because hanging Chapek out to dry like this, to the point where a party to say goodbye to Bob Iger, at his house, by the way, Iger's house, is going on. And Chapek shows up, and somebody else shows up, and Willow Bay, Bob Iger's wife, greets this other guy and says, "Oh, hi, Bob," and then turns her back. What the hell is happening? They make him CEO and they freeze him out. And, we all know that Nelson Peltz supports Donald Trump. There are rumors out there that Chapek did too, that should not deny somebody the job that he was chosen for. There's a bullshit reason. Okay. Could that just be the reason? That doesn't make any sense. And if it is, there's a lawsuit there. What? I got fired as CEO of Disney because I like what Donald Trump stands for? All right. I'm gonna be a billionaire by the time I'm done with you fuckers. Okay. Or is it something worse? Is it FTX? What else could it be about? If it's Peltz and Elon Musk, okay, and Chapek saying, I don't care how they make me look anymore. Okay. Now think about that. Who else could it be? Okay, read the article, go to Cameron's Patreon, and read the takes from everybody else there. Because there's something definitely going on at the Walt Disney Company, and it ain't good. And, oh, by the way, I'm doing a special upload in honor of the late, great, mighty James Earl Jones. And I don't think it's going to come out tonight. It'll come out tomorrow. Because I'm about ready to close shop for the night. I'm done. This is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.